All right, let's talk about yoga and body awareness and why, for neurodivergent folks, you might want to explore yoga as a tool for body awareness. It's about learning what you want to feel. It really is a very helpful tool for neurodivergent adults. Most of us tend to live inside our head a bit. We might ignore hunger until we're dizzy. We might not notice the headache coming on. We might not realize the tension in our jaw while we're working. We might be able to not tell if we are anxious or if we're just thinking too fast. All of this stuff is pretty common when your brain is wired differently, especially if you spent most of your life masking. So, for those of us who are late diagnosed, this is just one of those things that we experience: autism, ADHD, and everything alike. So, what I want you to understand is a little bit about your body's sensing systems. These are two different systems. One is the way that your body experiences the world outside of you, where your body is in space, this part, and the other is inside your body. So when your body is on the outside, when you're thinking about where you are in space, where are you? Are your feet on the ground? How far are you from the wall? How much force do you need to use to be able to open something or to throw a ball? Knowing where your hands are without looking, those kinds of things, that is called proprioception. Where your body is in space, all of your body parts, being able to be aware of how your body functions in the world around it. And then there's something called interoception. That is what's happening inside of your body. That's your heart rate, your hunger, your thirst, whether or not you're tired, overwhelmed, the temperature of your body, whether or not it's too hot or too cold outside, if you need to put on a sweater, those kinds of things. Those are the two sensory systems. Now, for people who are neurodivergent, these systems tend to be a little fuzzy for us. We are very sensory affected people. So a lot of times we actually dull the way that we relate to some of these things to go through our day, especially for those of us that have masked a lot of our life. So for proprioception, you might feel like you're a little clumsy, like walk into doorways. You might drop things or spill things more often, or hold yourself so tightly that you end up sore. You might, end up having that TMJ, or realize that you are, scrunching your feet or scrunching your toes or sitting with your arms clenched around you. For interoception, you might not even realize that you're getting overwhelmed until you fall apart. You might not realize that you've gone all day working without having a drink of water or getting your lunch. Might not be able to tell the difference between I just am waking up tired and I actually am sick. Or you might just be disconnected from the emotions that are behind what's going on because you are so in your head that you're not really paying attention to the emotions. All right. So here's why gentle yoga is something that you might want to think about, especially if you're neurodivergent. Gentle yoga is the opposite of like a high intensity or performance based yoga. It's slow, it's repetitive, it's no pressure, it gives you permission to just notice. It's different than things like the really intense yoga or the heat yoga. So with gentle yoga, you move deliberately. You're not racing, you're not trying to go quickly. You really are trying to be aware of where your body is in space. It's also repetitive, so there's space to notice the patterns, and you do different kinds of things that you learn how to do. There's also no pressure. Nobody is watching or correcting. You're just kind of existing in a space, and it gives you a lot of permission to just notice. You're asked to notice your body, notice where you are in space, notice how it feels, pay attention to the way that things feel in your body. And the way that that translates is that it becomes a part of the way that you think. So let's talk about like what actually happens in the body during a simple pose. Um, Forward fold, for example. In a forward fold, you're basically just bending from your waist and going down to the ground. So your upper torso is going down to your feet and you're kind of standing up as if you're picking up a pencil. In that space, proprioception fires up. You notice where your torso is, where your hamstrings are, how your spine moves, where your fingers are going. And then also interoception kicks in. Your heart rate will change. You'll feel tension or release. You'll notice whether or not you're holding your breath. And you do it slowly enough to be able to catch on to what is happening. If you rush or think about what's next, you miss it. So gentle yoga, you're actually asked to pay attention to the moment that you're in. It slows you down. You notice all of the things in your body, and you're really paying close attention to those things. Now, it goes beyond just body awareness. It goes into some real world benefits that actually matter in your life. So it's not flexibility or balance. Yes, those are great things, but it's also just the ability to notice something that I can't teach you in therapy. It helps you be able to catch that overwhelm before it becomes the meltdown. It helps you to realize whether or not you've eaten and pay attention to maybe noticing that hunger and noticing whether or not you're full. It's helping you being able to decide, you know what, I've been sitting in my chair for a long time. Maybe I need to move a little bit, or maybe I just need to fidget. Ooh, where's this, fidget. It also helps you to kind of understand the landscape in the space that you're in. Where are you? What is it that you are feeling in the moment? Kind of the emotional landscape of what's around you and how you're responding to it. And also being able to recognize some of those physical cues, such as the tension in your jaw, the clenched fists, that are underneath the emotion that's going on, that I'm tense, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overstimulated. And so, how do you actually get into gentle yoga? Well, there's a lot of different places that you can go. You can find a video. You can go online and search for gentle yoga or yin yoga on YouTube. It's free. And you can just start with just 10 minutes, a really quick, short, easy thing. It doesn't have to be a whole series. It can just be, hey, I want to try this move, and what does it feel like to do it? And go ahead and give yourself permission to just move slowly and try that one thing. And then notice, where are you holding tension in your body? Are you breathing? How hard is it for you to do the thing they're asking and to get the breath? And try it maybe 1 or 2 times a week. And then if you wanted to continue, you could actually go into a class. In my area, there's an organization called Behavioral Fitness. Amazing program. They have a gentle yoga class that's at 6:30 in the morning. It's the one that I went to today. And the thing is that it isn't a cure or a replacement for clinical work. It's just a complementary tool, something that makes it so that you can add to that piece that you're trying to understand yourself. It doesn't fix ADHD or autism. It's not a cure, right? It's not going to help you make yourself more neurotypical or better. And it won't replace therapy if therapy is what you need, but it is going to help you be able to be more body aware in a way that you're not going to get just by talking about it. It helps you be able to be more aware of what's inside of your body, not just during the session, but throughout the day. It gives you language and a way to notice those kinds of things. And it gives you just another tool for managing when you are oversensitive, when you are feeling everything, when you are in overwhelm. Core is your body's not broken. It's just been quiet for a while and it's trying to tell you things. And one of the tools that you can use to try to manage that is gentle yoga. So give it a try.